All right, welcome back to Jonesycast. My name's Jonesy, and this is the cast. Hey, if you like the videos, please like and subscribe. If you don't, then don't, I suppose. Okay, basically what I do is I read Reddit posts and just respond to them off the top of my head with my experience and hopefully knowledge and wisdom. So now we've got Rosie Nightmare posted 6 minutes ago saying that I'm going to assume he has had a hard time listening. I'm going to go through it. Now, I've read the full post. If you want the full context, the link is in the description. I've had a huge problem when it comes to my attention span and focus. I started dating this girl and I adore her. She's had a little crush on me for years and we finally started hanging out. It's about 3 months in and I'm having a really hard time listening. I feel like I am, but honestly, whenever I think of something exciting I want to share, I usually just blurt it out and cut her off. That's because I'll completely forget the thought if I want to share the story I had. She made it clear that she thinks I'm not interested, but it's not the case at all. I feel like everything is always so overwhelming and I can't listen to anything. Any type of advice would help. I feel so helpless at this point. I want to go into a psychiatrist, but my debt and no insurance doesn't help at all. Any kind of advice would be appreciated. Well, my friend, I have some general advice for you. So, I have a huge problem when it comes to my attention span and focus. All right, I'm going to give you a couple of practical things you need to do. Get off your phone. I mean, no, you don't have to, but you need to do a couple of things. Practice meditation and start really small. Start 5 minutes. Every second day if you have to. What you want to get is eventually to maybe 20 minutes a day at the top end because we're all busy and you've got shit to do, right? Some people could sit there for 4 hours meditating, but not me. Meditation really clears the mind because what it allows you to do is it allows you to be in yourself and not need to have input coming in, okay? And that will allow you to distinguish actively between the good input and the bad input. And I'm going to tell you why I say that, right? Because you're saying that she's talking to you and then you say something out of the blue and she feels like you're not listening. Well, she's right. So she feels like you're not interested. She's right. And the reason I say she's right is because if you look at my other videos, I say time and time and time again that I don't listen to what people say. I watch what they do. And if you're cutting her off, that tells me that you don't care what she was saying. I'm not saying that you don't care about her. I'm saying that you don't care about what she was saying. Okay. Now, the problem with that is she cares about what she's saying. So, and she wants you to care. And if you want this relationship to work, you need to care. Now, I don't care about a lot of the things my girlfriend cares about. I do care that she cares about them. Okay. There's a very subtle difference, but it really is important. My girlfriend talks about blah, 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 blah. I don't care. But because she cares, I listen because these things matter to her. There's a whole lot of things that she doesn't care that I love, right? And she listens to me because I want to express myself about these things that I love, and that's part of me. So you need to learn to listen to her, and to do that, and I mean active listening, not just sitting there with your ears open. I mean actively listening, picking apart in your mind what she's trying to say, why she's trying to say it, how she's saying it, why is she saying it. Did I say that? Anyway, the second thing I would do after meditation is read. You need to practice reading, okay? If you start with fiction that you love, that's fine. You could start with comic books if you want, or graphic novels, as the comic book fans you would like to say. But you need to start reading. And the reason for that is because that teaches you to focus. And the reason I say start with fiction is because fiction is very, very gripping, okay? And that's what you want. You want something that's going to capture your attention and hold it. Because then you learn the joy of having your attention captured, right? Start meditation, 2 minutes if you have to. For real, set a timer on your phone and just do nothing for 2 minutes. Close your eyes and sit, right? And once you've done that, do that day after day after day after day. And then go for 5, right? And then go for 10. And then eventually go for 15, maybe 20. And if you fail, that's okay. Start again. If you get to 10 and you fail and you have a few days off, start at 5 again, okay? But this is also going to teach you to not give up. You must keep going. If you're going to start something, you must keep going, okay? Now, there's a couple of things here that I'm looking at. I have a huge problem when it comes to my attention span and focus. It's very good that you understand that, but you are, in a sense, pathologizing yourself. Here's what I'm going to say about this. You are not the problem. It's your habits that are the problem, because your habits are much easier to change than you are. And when you change your habits, you will change, right? I started dating this girl and I absolutely adore her. Anytime I hear that, I'm going to bet, and I don't know, but I'm going to bet that you're under 20 years old. I don't know, but probably certainly under 25. I absolutely adore her. Adoration is exemplified through attention, which you're not giving her. So I'm just going to go out and push a little bit back on the idea that you adore her, okay? I think you do. I think you want to adore her, and I think sometimes you really do. But then something else flits into your brain like a butterfly, and you're like, "Ooh, what's that?" Right? So, but you need to learn to focus, because if you're very young and you're in a relationship with this young lady, the things that I'm telling you to do will not just serve you well in this relationship, but any relationship in which you're in. Anyway, English potato. Okay, we finally started hanging out. It's 3 months into our relationship and I'm having a hard time listening. I feel like I am, but honestly, whenever I think of something exciting I want to share, I usually just blurt it out and cut her off. But that's because I'll completely forget the thought if I want to share the story I had. Okay, so the reason I'm telling you to meditate is because here's what you do when you meditate. You meditate and you go, or some silly sound. And then a thought comes into your mind and you're like, oh yeah, I've got to do that shit today. Why didn't I? Hold on. No, stop. And you're back. Okay. And then a thought comes in again, stop. A thought comes in again, stop. That is the process of learning to control your thoughts. And that will be incredibly useful in this situation, because what will happen is she will be talking to you and then you will be like, oh yeah, that PlayStation, game that I played the other day was, oh babe, no, don't do that. Stop. Keep listening. And she doesn't know that you just went off thinking about that, but you can just, and then you pick it back up again, the conversation and the listening part of it that you're doing, and you keep listening, and you're going to make mistakes, but you just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And you will get way better at this. I feel like everything is always so overwhelming and I can't listen to anything. Well, you can, and life is overwhelming. Like, that's the definition of life. Like, there's a paradigm that goes like this: to live is to suffer. And the reason is because to live is to have, to exist is to have limits, and to have limits is to suffer. Okay. To exist, you have to have limits, because otherwise you are everything. You are unlimited, and you know that you're not, which means you have limits, and to have limits is to suffer. Okay. So in this sense, you are suffering a little bit because you feel helpless. Well, if you feel helpless, you got two options: keep feeling helpless or do something about it, right? And if I was in your position, the things I would do about it are the things that I just listed. At least meditate and read books. Now, the other thing that I say in nearly all my videos is you need to write down what you want in a relationship. And I don't mean that this relationship. I mean, you need to write down a few things. Number one, what you want in a woman, what you want in yourself in the relationship, what kind of relationship you want, and what kind of things you don't want in all those things. Okay. In the woman you have, in yourself, and in the relationship. And I mean it. Write it down. Write it down. This is not optional. Okay. You need to write it down, because when you do, that will be the compass for when the shit hits the fan, because you're in a relationship, and by definition, the shit will hit the fan. Okay. And when you have doubts, look, I have doubts and misgivings about the relationship I'm in right now, but they are then allayed by the fact that I know that this woman is the woman for me. I know because of her personality, because of her generosity, because of her, the way she is. I love it. She's such a giving, loving person, which annoys me sometimes because she gets taken advantage of. And I don't suffer fools, right? But she has a bit more tolerance and patience and grace and empathy. But that's what I need in my life, okay? I need someone to go, hey, man, just step back and just let's take a look here instead of just reacting. I'm not reactive by nature, but I don't suffer bullshit, right? And my girlfriend, she just, calms me down sometimes. Like, all right, just fucking relax. So that's what I need, okay? Now, you need a compass. If you are as young as I think you are, sub 25, that means that you are going to be in maybe not just this relationship, but ones in the future. But if you stay in this relationship for the next 40 years, you're going to need that compass. Okay. You need to write things down because otherwise they get lost in the ether that is our mind, our thoughts, which change. And obviously yours do because you can't focus. You need to write shit down. Okay. You need to write shit down. I hope this video has helped, man. I really do. Good luck.